We're going to talk about the 4 things that ruin INFPs and unpack them a bit. And then we'll get to some insights through what you can actually do to live life more aligned with your strengths of your personality type. My house is literally shaking right now due to the construction over there, but I figured I might as well just record a video instead of fighting my purpose. So the first thing is something that I think most of us INFPs struggle with. I'm an INFP. I work with INFPs all the time. I have 2 communities that are full of INFPs. I hear this all the time. We get so excited about an idea, about a new project. We got we hear some new music and we want to start creating some music around that. And then we watch a video on a new tabletop role-playing game that just came out, and we're like, okay, I'm going to make a game on that. And then we just bounce between all these different passions. And one thing that we constantly do is then we berate ourselves for it. Then we feel bad because we started this thing with so much energy and passion and curiosity, and then we stopped. Then we fizzled out. Then we got distracted. And so one of the biggest things that is causing us INFPs to really struggle with self-acceptance, self-appreciation, leaning into our strengths in the world, is forcing ourselves to finish every project. Now, we don't finish every project, but forcing ourselves to really focus on that and feel that we are behind because we're not doing that. Reworded. There's no shame in starting something and then not feeling fully compelled by it and going to do something else. That's a cool thing that you can have so many passions, right? If you only focus on one thing for the rest of your life, maybe you would feel fulfilled, but I don't think so. There's always going to be that explorer part of yourself that just wants to see new horizons, wants to explore, wants to set off to, on the high seas to the horizon and see what's over there. And if you deny that, if you say, I'm only going to work on this one thing, you're going to have a bad time. Now, likely your interests will be wrapped around your core values. If you find caring, creativity, leadership as your core values, you're probably going to do stuff related to that, right? But you don't need to finish everything that you start. And other people will probably say you should, but they're not you and they're not your personality type. One of your core strengths is feeling inspired and curious and wanting to explore all the possibilities around this thing that impacts humans and emotions, people, right? Once you get all that interest in there, then you can pass it off to somebody else if you want to. You probably won't, but if you want to, you could. But just know that through enough exploration, you're probably going to find something that is going to keep you focused on that direction, right? For me, it's personality type and creating content like this to help other people. Did I finish every video? No. I've got so many videos that I haven't finished. I've got so many games that I've partially created, so many projects that I've partially pursued. But I no longer hate myself for it. I just know that, okay, maybe I'll come back to it later. If you imagine it as a bucket, and you're kind of just filling up the bucket a little bit in this area and a little bit in this area. Yes, if you put all of your attention and focus and energy into that one bucket, you will finish it faster. But that's really fighting one of your core strengths again, which is exploring different possibilities. And the more breadth that you get of different hobbies, different passions, different interests, different experiences, then you can innovate by combining those in unique ways. If I didn't spend so much time playing World of Warcraft and then go on to this self-development trip that I went on, then I wouldn't have been able to mash those together. So there's good that comes out of it. You just have to be intentional and aware about wondering how you can connect up your passions. The second one is I used to sit in class and just imagine so many amazing adventures and the teacher like transforming into a dragon and putting a top hat on and, leading me to another realm, like all these awesome, awesome daydreams. And when I got older, I stopped doing those as much as I assume most of us do. And our critical faculty kicks in, which is saying like, no, that's not true. You can't do that, right? Your teacher is not a dragon. Those kind of naysaying thoughts and behaviors. But for INFPs, we need this daydreaming aspect because it is how we understand ourselves more. It's how we understand people more. It's how we put who we are and our values and our identity into a different context. If you woke up and you were in a cyberpunk setting, what would you do? Who would you be? Those insights help you understand more about yourself now as well, and more about other people, and like philosophical understanding of how people work, why we do the things that we do. And that is something that INFPs gravitate towards in all domains. So instead of dismissing your inner world as just daydreaming, look for it as signs, as cues to explore deeper into different topics related to those daydreams. Okay, as I was mentioning about the dragon with the top hat and stuff, going to a fantastical realm. Maybe that's just a sign that like, I'm always going to like fantasy genre. I'm always going to like dragons. And there's something like powerful and epic and beautiful about those. And maybe if I bring some more intention and ideas to dragons, just as an example, then maybe that's going to be something that becomes a good metaphor for my life. Am I a dragon hoarding all these ideas? I made a video about this before. A dragon hoarding these ideas, and you have like the ideas that you're really focused on right now, and you have the ideas in the back that are just kind of sitting there in your dragon's hoard, in your treasure trove. Don't fight it, because you're going to do it anyway. So lean into it, appreciate it. And speaking of appreciating, something that really transformed my life was when I realized that for example, ESTJs in my life, one of my best friends and my stepmom, were actually struggling human beings as well. And instead of projecting onto them and hating them for their behaviors that they did, and like, that is a part of myself. That's a part of you. Extroverted thinking, the strategizing commander, it's a part of you. We just don't spend a lot of time developing it. We struggle with it, we aspire to develop it, but it is a limiting aspect of ourselves. And we're always like, well, one day I'll be able to get it together, get my life together. That is that extroverted thinking commander part of ourselves. Like, we do need to figure out how to wrangle the commander and bring him in and say, how do I delegate tasks? How do I organize my life? What structure should I have? What's the return on investment of pursuing these different things? Those metrics are really helpful. But if we villainize it and other people because we hate it within ourselves, then it's going to create a lot of problems. And the third point here is when we compare our struggles to other people's strengths, we suffer. If I struggle with extroverted thinking, organizing, managing my life and my environment in a logical way, and I compare it to my ESTJ friend who rose to the top of his company, he's a leader there, he's got a bunch of people working under him now, he's got a beautiful house, right? If I compare those, then I'm going to feel bad about myself. But if I also know that, well, for me, introverted feeling, the soul, is a strength. Figuring out what resonates with me, understanding myself, my emotions, my values at a deeper level is something I'm really good at. And I spend a lot of time there. Well, I also know that he struggles with that, right? And I can help him. I can support him through that. Or I can just realize that we're all different character classes in the massive multiplayer role-playing game of life. And we have strengths, we have weaknesses. And it's our job to specialize in those strengths instead of trying to fix all of those weaknesses. And this leads us to the fourth point, which is a slight pivot from that. For my whole life, until I really figured out personality type, I felt like I just was off. Like I was wrong. Why is everybody else so happy all the time? Why can't I just be happy? Why do I have these thoughts that I do? Why do I break out crying in the middle of science class and storm out saying I'm having a bad life? Why did music class like build this huge welling sadness within me, listening to songs about pirates? I felt I was strange, and maybe I was strange. I probably was strange. I was. And that's okay. I wasn't broken. I was just strange. So believing that you're broken for being different is one thing that really ruins INFPs. Because again, we spend so much time focusing on what other people have, what other people do, how they're better than us in some way, how they don't struggle with these things. Well, they likely do struggle with those things. I mean, these are all human aspects. Everybody has all 8 cognitive functions, but we highlight certain ones for our personality type. We can do introverted intuiting. We can do introverted thinking, but those are not our core strengths, right? And so because we focus on those, our life is like built, our life emerges from those focuses as well. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, will give you whatever you're looking for. And what that is the example is if you buy a new car and it's a blue car, a blue Honda Civic, then you start to see that car everywhere you go because your reticular activating system said, oh, this is something you're interested in now. This is what we're focusing on. Okay, I'll point it out over here and over here and over here. Likewise, if you think I'm broken because I'm too emotional, then you will start to find reasons to feel that way. And you'll find different aspects about yourself. It'll be highlighted more. Oh, you're really emotional here. You're really emotional here. You shouldn't have done that here. We zoom into with a magnifying glass all these different aspects of ourselves that other people have in their own version, their own variation. Again, the ETJs are like, why can't I get all of these things accomplished in this amount of time? I'm good at it. I know how to do these things. Why can't I do it? And they probably have those different struggles too. I was thinking of an ENTJ friend who just doesn't want to sleep because he says it's a waste of time. There's things that he can do. And that's okay. And we have our strengths. We have our weaknesses. You are not broken. You're just different. But here, at this channel, you are not different. And if you want to join a community of other INFPs and some other friends as well, then please go to evolve.geekpsychology.com. We have monthly workshops. You get access to all of my courses. I think I have 8 up there right now. Got like 20 some hypnosis tracks as well. And you have more access to me. And we, like I said, we do these monthly workshops and Q&A calls and things like that. It's a bunch of awesome people working together to improve their lives through personality type. And remember that if you overcome these 4 different things, forcing yourself to finish every project, dismissing your inner worlds as just daydreaming, comparing your struggles to other people's strengths, and believing that you're broken for being different, if you overcome those, you win. Your life is so much better. And it's not about necessarily gaining new skills. It's about giving yourself the permission to be who you are in the best way that you can be.